Star Wars 7x7 episode 2173. So we've talked previously about how animation is still going on, so that's one form of storytelling that is still in the works despite everything going on around the world. Well, there is another type of storytelling that is also ongoing, and we'll talk about that on today's episode. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, The Mandalorian was able to finish principal photography before things shut down related to the coronavirus. There were tweets that we've talked about previously where folks have said that animation stuff is still going strong, even though we don't have an animated series right now. The rumor, the discussion, the expectation is that there's going to be another one debuting in the fall, and whether it's debuting on Disney Plus or actually on Disney Broadcast on one of their channels, we don't yet know that either. Again, it's speculation, but it's, I would say, well-informed speculation, if you will. Well, it turns out there's another type of storytelling going on, and in fact, there's actually a different kind of term for it that's being coined by Vicki, Dobbs, Beck, who is the executive in charge for ILMxLAB. She refers to it in a recent press release as story-living, where you are making consequential decisions that describe or that drive your experience forward. Did I say consequential right? Yeah, I messed up that whole sentence, but I think you get the idea, where your choices within an environment actually end up driving a story forward. This is, of course, the virtual reality space, and there have been two recent announcements we haven't yet talked about on the show related to virtual reality and Star Wars storytelling, or story living, as the case may be. We've talked a little bit about VR on the show, and particularly the thing that is the #1 example of it, at least for the home, is Vader Immortal, and it's only been available on the Facebook Oculus Quest platform and headset, but now there's been an announcement that it's coming to the PlayStation VR platform later this summer, and it's coming as one package, all 3 episodes, so folks who have PlayStation VRs aren't going to have to wait for individual episodes to come out the way that Oculus folks did. It's all going to be available in one fell swoop. And yes, that's cool, but it's also cool because of the fact that, when you think of other Star Wars games, if you will, like the Battlefront games or Jedi Fallen Order, they are platform agnostic, right? They come out for the Xbox, they come out for the PlayStation, they come out for multiple platforms, and so you don't have to have one particular platform in order to get access to the game and then have to go, oh my gosh, I need to get this other platform so that I can play this game. So it makes it easier to access for Star Wars fans, and it's nice to see that on the VR side of the house that they are making Vader Immortal available across multiple VR platforms, so it is the same kind of philosophy. So yes, it's possible to work on porting this stuff to other platforms while we have all the coronavirus restrictions going on, but that isn't the only thing that ILMxLAB has been up to. They just announced recently Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, which is going to be their next brand new title for VR. It is coming to the Oculus, and it is coming later this year. We don't know when later this year, and it's not numbered the same way that when they announced Vader Immortal, it was announced as Episode 1 and it was announced as a trilogy. This Tales from the Galaxy's Edge announcement just says it's Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. There's no episode thing. There's no indication of whether this will be an ongoing story. Right now it is just a single standalone situation. And as you might expect, we don't know a heck of a lot about it just yet. What we do know is that there will be new and iconic characters appearing in this VR tale. We know that it will take place on the outskirts of Black Spire Outpost, which is of course the place where Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Walt Disney World is set. And we know it will take place in the canon timeline in between the events of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. It's also supposed to be complementary to the Galaxy's Edge experience, building on that whole world and bringing the experience home to people who have been there, and also, I guess, opening it up to people who have never been there. So that is coming, and hopefully we will have more details about that soon, but certainly later this year to be sure. I imagine this is another situation where we would learn more about it at Star Wars Celebration, but Yeah, still up in the air with that whole business. So that's what we know on the VR side for now. And on tomorrow's episode, we're going to be talking about another situation for Star Wars experiences that hasn't been delayed by the coronavirus situation. Another thing that could be worked on despite all the restrictions going on. And it was referred to by the code name Maverick for a long time, but today there is actually a debut happening, and it is for a video game called Star Wars Squadrons. We will talk about what we learn on tomorrow's episode for that, because the announcement is actually happening later today. But that's where we're going to leave things for right now. So thank you very much, as always, for joining me for this episode, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
This is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other related Star Wars items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2019 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.